serious now. Let's face it, email logins are difficult. Whether you're doing this in React Native, Flutter, or whatever platform you have, email logins are difficult. It's always much easier to just put in a Google sign in and then let Google handle all the other details. So in this video, I'm just gonna talk more on why I'm saying that email logins are difficult. Welcome to this channel. If you're new to the channel, we talk about React Native most of the time. If you are a React Native developer or a React developer, subscribe to this channel. You're gonna get great content out of this. So let me expand on what I'm saying right now. So email logins are typically what you see on most common sites, whereby you'll have a email text input, a block with a password one, and then what happens is that in addition to that, emails are supplemented by another login method. For example, you might have a Google login, Twitter, LinkedIn, or whatever other third-party platform that you might have on your app. So as developers, sometimes we like to have a custom email password login system because we have more control of what happens over the data and the flow. So that's why we like to put them there. But they are very difficult to implement because you almost have to think about a lot of things that you have to put in place in order to have the best efficient login system. So let me just talk more on what does it mean to have a custom email login system. So it depends. Sometimes you might even have a custom backend system whereby like you have a backend either in Node or any other language whereby you generate a token which is gonna be sent to the front end, and then when a person enters their email, it's gonna be checked against your backend to see does that person is that token correct or does that login system work. But then we're not gonna do that now. We're gonna talk about let's say you have a platform like for example Firebase custom email login. So that means that when a person creates a new login system, it's gonna be stored in Firebase, and then when the person comes back again to log in, it's gonna just be compared against the already existing system on Firebase. So let's just go back to talking about how typically what do you see or when you actually have, or what are the components of a custom email login system. So you'd normally have three systems. So the first one will be the one which is common to everyone, like you almost say, is the email text box and the password text box, and then you generally have a sign-in button which will sign you in. And then if a person doesn't have a password, an email or a login already, so they have to have a second part, which is the, like now you have to actually create or sign up for an account. So that means then you have to have another system which will sign up your new users to the platform. And then you generally have a third case as well. A third case is a person who, like, they already have an account with you, but now what happens is that they have lost their email or they have forgotten it. So generally then you'll need a system for them to actually get the email back. So that means a forgot password or a reset password method should be there. Then like those are the main three top parts of a login system. Sometimes you'll have a custom login. That means the person doesn't have to submit either the email or password, they can just log in. But then going back to the UI now. So when the person first enters, like let's say they're signing up for an account, you have to have an email, they're gonna enter an email, they're gonna enter a password. So for those two systems, you have to actually do some validation. So you have to validate that the email is an actual proper email. So that means then you have to check either using regex, check is it following this typical email schema or like format, whereby you'll have your username and then have the at and then whatever domain that email belongs to. So you have to check for that and check whether it's even a valid email. So like check is the person just putting like many zeros, and then so that's something that you have to check as well. So you also have to do some sort of like, it's called verification. So it's not common on all sites, and sometimes you might not even do this depending on how serious it is you're projecting. So email verification is a method to actually verify the email. It's not valid. You're not validating it. You're verifying it. So that means then, if a person puts in an email, for example, a temporal email. So you normally get those emails which are disposable. So that means then, like after a number of minutes, the email is gone. So a person can just create many accounts on your platform and then and do whatever nefarious things they want to do on your platform, and then that password disappears. So then they create another one. So you want to avoid people doing that, because actually they're using your resources and you're not actually getting value from those users. So you want a way to verify whether is it even a real email, and then that's the third-party email providers which do verification. I can put one in the description, for example, if you're interested to have that on your site. There are a couple of them. You can even Google them. Another one as well is like I said, it's like you have to do validation for the email and then validation for the password. If you want a minimum correct number of characters for your email, for example, you have to do some like validation there to show them like, no, like you don't have sufficient characters, or or there's no password at all. Another one that you have to do like now is to actually implement another system, which is the ability to like then authenticate. So that means then on your sign in button, you must have it when they press the sign up. You should have a method to handle that sign up. So that means either taking them to your back end, and if you're using Firebase or Google Firebase, you have to actually take them to Firebase now to create that account. So that's one thing as well. So when a person already has the email, you must provide an ability for them to be able to reset their password. So that means then they have to provide their email, and then what happens is that once they provide their email, they're going to be taken to another website, or they're going to be sent an email for them to provide a new password. So that's another thing that you have to take care of when it comes to custom sign-ins. And then another one as well, which is like now more on the UI, because you are providing a way for them to have like a login flow. So they have to actually have the ability to have the keyboard to like avoid the view if you're using React Native. So that's something that you have to do as well. So I've placed code in the description on how I do custom logins. If you're interested in that, you can just check the code and see how the code you see there is specifically designed around Google Firebase, but you can almost just take in or replace the logic for handling the login to whatever platform you're using. So if you're interested in that, you can just check the code in the description. But if you have questions, feel free to go to the description, to the comments, and just say or ask questions, whatever questions you have, or give me like the best ways you're doing it. Let's feed the community knowledge so that people can learn. Hope you found something useful in this video. If you're looking for more content like this, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.